Hi, I'm Jeff Kaufman with Silver Sport Transmissions, and today we're driving Charles Huffman's 1970 Ford Torino. We met Charles over at the auto fair at Charlotte Motor Speedway, and he told us about his car. It was currently equipped with an AOD automatic, and he was looking to do a manual. So a short while later, we talked and we got the car in, and the plan was to put a TKO 5-speed in it, the TREMEC TKO. And so we got the TKO in, and thought, hey, why not do a 6-speed? So that's where we're at now. The car now has the Magnum 6-speed. This is the close ratio. The TKO actually fit with no cutting. This was being an automatic car. Obviously, we had to cut a hole for the shifter, but the tunnel is surprisingly large in this car, so there was no other cutting required for clearance. The Magnum actually even required very little cutting to fit in the tunnel. It was all mainly at the rear, where the transmission really doesn't taper down as much in the back. So very little modifications in the Torino platform. Another item to take note of is the shift effort. You can shift it with 2 fingers or even a thumb. The Magnum 6-speed shift effort is very light, very smooth. Okay, so before we get on the highway, a couple things I want you to watch is how tight the shifter handle is. There's very little, actually probably no movement at the ball. Very small movements, very tight. You don't have a lot of excess play. Watch for the travel, how far the shifter handle moves. It's a very tight shift. You don't have a lot of arm movement to go through the gears. So it's a very nice, pleasing drive, fun drive. And then listen for the RPM change. This is the close ratio model, so you don't have a lot of RPM drop with each gear change. So it keeps the engine power in its power band, so to speak. But you don't have a lot of RPM drop with each shift, so it's a nice close ratio gear set. Okay, so we're running down the highway. We're at about 60 miles per hour and turning about 2,500 RPMs. So this is what you would normally be at if you had a 3-speed automatic, or say a top loader 4-speed with no overdrive. So it's fun to drive up to about 60, but if you want to go any kind of long distance, car show, road trip, anything like that, it kind of gets old after a while. So with the 6-speed, the 5th gear is a 20% drop in RPMs. So let's go ahead and go to 5th. So that dropped us down to about 2,000. Still running 60 miles per hour. So this would be good for 2-lane highways, state routes, something like that, where you're maybe not going on a long trip or interstate use, but you still need a little bit of overdrive. So let's say we want to go up to about 70. Okay, so right now we're cruising about 70. Let's drop it into 6th. Okay, so now we're running just a hair under 2,000 RPMs, maybe 1,900. Keeping up with traffic. Car's nice and quiet, nice and smooth. 6th gear is a total RPM drop of 37%. So it makes a really nice highway car. Charles, this car drives fantastic. I think you're going to really love it. To those people out there that have been thinking about converting to a 5 or 6-speed transmission, what are you waiting on? And this is the best modification you can do to your car.